For most of my adult life, I have watched Americans misunderstand what the First Amendment means in terms of freedom of expression or freedom of speech without retribution from your government. And too many people think it means you get to say whatever you want whenever you want, and that simply is not true. There's a reason why you can't yell fire in a crowded theater, because you do not get to put someone's life at danger with your words. And in this breaking story that just happened, we are in a place, a very dark place, where political rhetoric is beginning to breach the lines of logic and common sense or any form of decorum, and it all falls on the shoulders of one Donald J. Trump. This breaking story goes to show, no, you don't get to just say anything, and you may get held criminally liable. Trust me, there are many, many criminal cases in which somebody actually got recorded or heard or had witnesses to saying, I will kill someone, and then someone dies, and that gets admitted into evidence because you don't get to say just whatever you want. And we are rolling down a really bad hill of allowing certain degrees of political rhetoric in supposedly a democratic, free country. And here's just a little taste of a reminder before I show you this breaking story that just happened.
But do you expect to hear anything from the Trump campaign about toning down the rhetoric?
I don't know how long this could, this moment of unity for the country where we come together and we say, I don't want any political opposition to be under threat of violence. It's not okay, any threat of violence, we don't want.
Trump is blaming Vice President Kamala Harris and Democrats for the apparent assassination attempt, saying their rhetoric is to blame. His running mate J.D. Vance echoed that during a campaign event in Georgia yesterday.
You know, the big difference between conservatives and liberals is that no one has tried to kill Kamala Harris in the last couple of months, and 2 people now have tried to kill Donald Trump in the last couple of months. I'd say that's pretty strong evidence that the left needs to tone down the rhetoric and needs to cut this crap out.
Well, just moments ago, Donald Trump put on X a statement, and I'll read that out to you. It goes a little bit longer. I have the full one for you here. He says the rhetoric lies and exemplified by the false statements made by Comrade Kamala Harris during the rigged and highly partisan ABC debate and all of the ridiculous lawsuits specifically designed to inflict damage on Joe's, then Kamala's, political opponent, me, has taken politics in our country to a whole new level of hatred, abuse, and distrust. Because of this communist left rhetoric, the bullets are flying, and it will only get worse.
Isn't it ironic that he says a month ago it's going to get worse, bullets are flying, and then today, literally, which he claims as a joke, Donald Trump talks about putting guns trained on Liz Cheney's face. Well, in this breaking story, guess what? One Arizona lawmaker and prosecutor feels with an investigation it may cross legal lines. This is breaking news.
Arizona's top prosecutor, a Democrat, said on Friday that her office was investigating whether Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump violated state law for suggesting a prominent critic should face gunfire in combat. Trump has drawn outrage for comments he made about former lawmaker Liz Cheney at a campaign event in the battleground state of Arizona on Thursday. His campaign said the former president was criticizing Cheney as a warmonger, but critics condemned the remarks as evidence he would target his enemies if he wins next week's election against Democrat Kamala Harris. She's a radical war hawk, Trump said of Cheney. Let's put her with a rifle standing there, with 9 barrels shooting at her, okay? Let's see how she feels about it, when the guns are trained on her face. Speaking to a local TV station on Friday, Arizona Attorney General Chris Mays said Trump might have violated state laws that prohibit death threats. I have already asked my criminal division chief to start looking at that statement, analyzing it for whether it qualifies as a death threat under Arizona's laws, Mays told 12 News. Mays said it was not yet clear whether Trump's comment amounted to protected free speech or a criminal threat. That's the question, whether it did cross the line. It's deeply troubling, Mays said. It is the kind of thing that riles people up, and that makes our situation in Arizona and other states more dangerous. The Trump campaign said his remarks had been misinterpreted. President Trump is 100% correct that warmongers like Liz Cheney are very quick to start wars and send other Americans to fight them, rather than go into combat themselves, spokesperson Caroline Leavitt said in a statement. Contacted for comment on the probe, a Trump campaign spokesperson reiterated Leavitt's remarks.
And we are still 4.5 days out before the election, not to mention post-election. I mean, January 6th was a long time after the election. We have several months of this potential BS going on. Folks, please tell everyone you know. Get out, share this, vote. Vote, vote, vote. This man cannot, in any way, shape, form, or fashion, get into office. This is no longer humorous, and it certainly isn't a joke. Don't boo. Vote.